Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan, bringing you the last match before our break on day 5 of the new NEO2. We've got Incursion Shiny Network in red versus Thingy in blue. And am I going to see what I've been waiting for all tournament long? Am I going to see a bomb run here?
You very well may. We do have 3 bombers on the Thingy team, 3 hounds. We're going to see a lot of missiles one way or another. So ISN has brought the same setup that they brought earlier today: double detonation, guardian, triple vexor, Mollis purifier. Thingy, on the other hand, has brought a completely new setup. It's double claymore, curse, scimitar, triple hound, slasher. I really like this Thingy setup. This is a team that has speed. It has a lot of control in the case of the curse, although its tracking disruptor is not going to be very effective against ISN. And those 3 bombers give you the option to bomb or the option to just lob torps from across the field.
Yep, and we saw from Incursion Shiny Network those large amount of rep drones, limited drone bays, of course, on the Incursion Shiny Network team. So if they get all their rep drones bombed off in a bombing run, that's potentially devastating.
Yeah, or their combat drones as well from the Vexors. They're not going to have a ton of bay available. We don't see any bombs in the air yet, but the Claymores charging in ahead with augmented hammerheads following them. These Claymores are going in to tackle and brawl. We're going to have to see how well they can hold on. Already damage being applied to one of the Vexors for ISN. That's mainly going to be the bombers hitting them with the torp so far, because the Claymores aren't in range yet. The entire Thingy team came in at max range at 50. The ISN team brought their Damnations in and Vexors in a bit closer, and the rest of their team back to 50.
But I'll tell you what, those damps are going exactly where they need to go, keeping all those hounds and that curse out of the fight. They're going to have to come in close, and hounds don't really like to be in close on the things that they're shooting at. We're going to have to see if the reps from this Guardian can hold. They're testing the tank on those Vexors. But without the Hound DPS being applied, I think that they'll probably be able to hold. But as I say that, Bobby Grain is going down into low armor here.
Yeah, I mean, he is dropping very, very quickly. One of the things that you should note is that Thingy's control bar is actually all the way, was very close to the top there, even though all the hounds were down. That meant that pretty much all of their control is coming from the curse. The curse had its nude supply. It put them onto the Vexors to knock out their guns, knock out their hardeners right away. And I think that's going to work. We're going to see these Vexors dropping fast. Thingy is clearing off the most vulnerable DPS. These Vexors are very fragile, but they're the highest damage Tech 1 cruisers in the game when they are in-your-face brawler kit like this one.
We say that at the same time, this Vexor's holding for quite a long time. There he finally goes down, but they're already brawling with this Claymore, who's bouncing in and out of low shields.
Yeah, Ferox's Claymore there. He does have an ASB going, but he can't keep that ASB going forever, so he's going to be relying just on the Scimitar soon. They need to take down another Vexor fast if they're going to keep the Claymore alive.
But you've seen those damps have come off the hounds, perhaps swapping onto the Scimitar pretty soon. If the Scimitar's reps drop on that Claymore, he's taking so much damage, he might just instantly get volleyed.
He might, but the Scimitar looks like he's piloting right. He's in close enough that he is still repping even through the damps. And the Claymore is dropping down, even though we're seeing a Vexor already. Yeah, there you go.
There's another Vexor down.
That is exactly what Thingy needs to do. They need to now kill the last Vexor, and they're killing him right through the Guardian. The Guardian is actually tackled far enough away from the fight that he was having trouble getting reps on that first Vexor.
Yep, and we see the Vexor taking reps, but even then, he's just getting blasted through. He has no local rep, and even with overheated reps, you just saw the blue bar advance there with the overheat on the Guardian, but without those Vexors, they're just not really going to have the damage on the field to break through this Scimitar.
Nick Domar's Claymore dropped very low before he boosts.
The ASB boosts are really strong.
Yeah,
here.
We saw a fast switch of damage from ISN. They put all their damage onto the other Claymore. It took a second for the reps to switch over from the Scimitar, and it looks like Nick actually let himself get quite low before he turned on his ASB. That might have just been him bait tanking. It might have just been him with a slow reaction time. One way or another, he is now fine. With only 2 Damnations worth of damage and 1 Purifier's worth of damage on him, he's not going to die.
Yeah, this is the real problem here with the Incursion Shiny Network team, is they don't really have a lot of ability to reach out and touch a Scimitar like they would with any sort of stronger support wing. They sort of rely on either being able to break through like double logistics frigate reps or just slowly dying. We say there, Nick Domar just loves to drop into low shields. Like, yeah, that's his favorite place to hang out.
I think, though, that Damnation is probably going to go down before him. He is still repping.
I don't think he's going to go down at all. But
yeah. I think we're going to see them knock down that Damnation before too long. These Claymores, again, an excellent choice for a tournament environment like this. They're not vulnerable to tracking disruption. They're very fast. They have excellent shield tanks. They're, in a lot of ways, I think actually an even better kind of all-around ship as long as you have a good support wing than the Sleipnir, which has been a tournament staple for years.
Exactly. So we have that Detonation dropping to low armor and just burning right through that tank. They don't care that he's catching reps. There's enough nuke pressure from the curse on that Guardian that he can't run his reps all the time. You'll likely see them drop in and out as cycles end. See, the cycle has just ended there. And he's just going to be burned down to the ground.
Yep.
There's sustained DPS over time, just cracking them.
Yeah, this is, again, a great performance from Thingy with a very strong setup. I think this is a setup that a lot of teams would have practiced against variants of. The double command ship setup, obviously very common. You're seeing it from both teams. But the Claymore variant with the Curse is a very, very strong combo. You get the ability of the Claymores to dodge around slower teams. Against a battleship team, you can take them around the outside, come in at range, swoop around and try to get on top of logistics, for instance. And the Curse gives you the ability to really mess with the heavy battleship teams, especially in their tracking, and then also gives you the ability to nuke down an enemy logistics.
So is the Claymore the new Sleipnir?
I think in a lot of ways it is, where it is a lot more vulnerable as it can't kill frigates nearly as well. The Sleipnir can burn through frigates so effectively. But tracking disruptors are so common in this tournament, and in all tournaments in the last couple of years, that having a missile ship, it gives you a huge advantage, or a drone ship. That's why I think we've been seeing a lot of smart teams using EOSs, and that's why we're seeing smart teams using Damnations and Claymores.
So is the strength of the Minmatar command ship line actually not in the ships themselves, but whichever ship looks like a train?
Yes. The train ships is actually the key to victory in all EVE Online tournaments. And we're going to be seeing those train ships running over ISN right now. The Damnation, there you go, dropping through. It's going to be only a few moments left, actually, because that Guardian is already tackled, so he's going to go down very quickly. And Thingy with another very, very dominant performance.
Yep.
These guys have only lost to Warlords of the Deep, and they're going to be a huge challenge for Kobas inside.
And we can see here, like, this is fairly deep in the tournament. We've had 2 perfect wins in a row. And that says a lot about, even though all these teams are incredible, some teams are just playing next level. They're bringing the right setups at the right times and just locking people out. This Thingy setup does well against a ton of different setups. The Hounds do so much damage for only 3 points apiece. They do like close to Vexor damage on the right targets.
Yeah, we intentionally lowered the points of Hounds and all other bombers in this tournament, partially to help people counter out the very powerful Marauders. And we haven't actually seen a lot of teams going with the multiple bombers. I think this is the only triple bombers team we've seen so far, but a lot of teams are bringing single bombers. I expect that a lot of teams are holding their multiple bomber setups back, and that they're going to be some of the strong setups we're going to see today and tomorrow.
Nothing but bomb runs all weekend. That will be wonderful.
A 5-bomber team, we saw 5-bomber teams do immensely well in some previous tournaments, and at only 3 points, 5-bomber teams would be really, really good in this tournament.
Like 5 bombers, triple battleship. GG, what are you going to do against that? You get bombed, you're done.
Yeah,
you're actually not done. There's a lot of things that kill that. I was sure.
But it is a lot of damage, and as this Guardian gets brought down, that is going to be it for ISN. Another one of our Cinderella stories will be after our break, seeing the other Cinderella story of this tournament. We're come up against another brick wall, much like Thingy. It's going to be a big challenge for them as well. The Guardian, of course, actually getting repped up now. It looks like, let's see what's going on here. It looks like they have decided
they're looting the field.
They're looting, yes. We have actually the Thingy guys keeping that Guardian alive just long enough to get themselves some loot, and now they're going to finish him off, and that will be the match. So we will see you guys after some ads in just a moment.